Hello and welcome back to The Good, The Bad and The Stupid. It's Friday the 15th of November. Hopefully you're well, you've had a good day and you've got the Friday feeling. Good news is I'm not around for a couple of days, so you've got the weekend off and we'll meet back here this time on Monday. It's no obligation, obviously. It'd be nice to see you. You're more than welcome. Bring a few other people as well. It's about time these numbers rocketed, you know, put my name around, put my name out there. Good or bad. Bad news is just as good news for publicity. Thank you very much. Right, let's crack on because I've got some stuff in the oven. There you go, I broke the fourth wall there, but I've got to keep my eye on what's going on. I don't want a fucking fire alarm to go off in the middle of the podcast. How unprofessional would that be? That I have to jump out the window. I'm only kidding. This is a podcast studio, not my house, of course. Thought Lord Buckethead, Count Binface and Yace. No, what's this? Lord Buckethead, Count Binface and Yace Interplanetary Time Lord Jorgenstein are among those competing with Boris Johnson in the Uxbridge and South Ruislip constituency. I tell you what, I don't know how I said that I didn't say it in one go, did I? But I nearly almost said it in one go. I wonder what the hell I was reading then. Basically, some people have changed their names to some crazy bullshit names to go on the ballot paper in Boris Johnson's constituency to try and stitch him up so that people who don't want to vote for any particular party can vote for them to lose the vote and then sort of scupper the Conservatives because he's hoping for a 5,000 majority. Overturn the PM's 5,000 majority. Count Binface, one of Count Binface's policies, because they've got to have policies, include the return of CFAX. So CFAX, some of you won't even know what the hell that is, isn't it? CFAX goes back, even I can only just about, that's before teletext, isn't it? CFAX is on teletext. Remember that? That was the height of technology, that was. We used to come back to a mate's house after being out to all-night raves and sit in his living room playing on the bloody CFAX, teletext, fucking all day, you know what I mean? Just staring at like the most basic of screens on the TV, answering stupid questions on there. Hours of entertainment when you can't face going home and going to bed after having such a good night out. Oh, those were the days. Anyway, some other people who've changed their names here. Another guy wants to change his name to Brexit by deed poll to make sure that it stays on the ballot paper. And there's other people, another guy, that's obviously the politics side. Another guy who was that interested in King Arthur, he saw so many similarities with him that he changed his name in 1986 to Arthur Uther Pendragon. I guess that was King Arthur's real name. So if you didn't believe that King Arthur actually existed, then you can now, because he does, even if it's only from 1986. He does. I don't know where he lives. You'd have to look him up in the phone book. Remember the phone book? You'd find him in there. Phone books are a thing of the past now as well, aren't they? The phone books went really, really thin, didn't they? They started off massive. Someone had you could have one chuck it through your fucking window. They were that big. They were that big, the phone books, that part of the strongman competition was to rip a phone book in half. And they were that, you know, you can't even get your hands around them. They were that, and some of them would just tear them. Jeff Capes, remember Jeff Capes used to just rip about 30 phone books in one go in half. You could do it now because it'd be like a piece of paper. I don't even get who rings 118. Who the fuck rings that number? You see the little small thing on there. It's about like over 50 pence a call or 70 pence a call. It's quite expensive, and you just don't need to ring those that number anymore. But they're spending a load of dough on like advertising. They're on every single film. Them two guys, and they're quite funny. Them two 118 guys. But 10 years has got to have been doing that for them. Fuck knows who's ringing them. I wouldn't go near 118 because you ring that from your mobile a few times, you fucking racked up a bill. I come back with I made one phone call to Eurotunnel last month, and I've ended up with 20 quid on my phone bill. I was like, what the hell's that come from? And it was that phone call I thought was a free phone call to Eurotunnel when I was asking some questions about going over, and I booked it through there. What happened? £20 extra on top of my fucking thing. So you've got to watch it, man. It'll catch you out. And the 118s are, you know, they're funny, but really they just want your money. So don't be. I haven't got another rhyme for that, but don't get caught out anyway. Somebody else changed the name to Rebel Wolf. That's a bit boring. Another person changed their name. Madonna fans changed their name to Emma Madonna Confessions on the Dance Floor McHale Dawson. So she's got a screw loose, to say the least. And her friend Leanne Madonna, Vogue on the cover of a magazine, McHale Dawson. Are they friends? Anyway, and another one, Gemma Madonna, True Blue, Striker Pose, Carol McHale Dawson. Lucky now they are all McHale Dawsons, isn't they? So it's a family of nutcases. Don't try that at home, folk, because as soon as you tell that to a bloke what your name is, he's just going to compute. She's fucking lunatic. I'm not going to give her my surname and stick it on the end of that. She'll probably make me change my name to her name, because she ain't going to want to lose it, is she? If she's gone to all the effort of depot. You'll be forever explaining that to people. Another guy changed his name to Bacon Double Cheeseburger. You know, I mean, he's got to be fat, hasn't he? He's got to be fat. And as soon as he changed his name to it, he was inundated with offers from free food from various pubs and various fast food joints, so he's definitely fat. And he signs off his emails with BD Cheeseburger. And there's another guy, there's loads, and there's another guy changed his name to Kenny Fu Kennard, which is, you say that fast, Kenny fucking hard. Yeah, I remember there was a guy, I worked in insurance once, and there was a guy who was, he wrote in his name was Mr. Hard Bastard. People spend a lot of money to change their name to these things. I think he wanted to change his name to that, so that in the courtroom they had to sort of call him by his name, but I think they refused to do it. So he went to all the effort for nothing really. They probably just gave him extra time for it as well. You know, if you're going down and think, oh, you're just being a prat here, we'll give you an extra 3 months for that, Mr. Hard Bastard. I'll say your name. I'll also fucking give you another, you know, extend your stay at Her Majesty's pleasure. So, well, I'll tell you what, an extended stay at Her Majesty's pleasure isn't far off waiting at the fucking hospital waiting room at the moment, the way the times are on. Apparently it's the worst A&E wait ever. Some people have been sitting there all night long, and they're all night long. You know, Lionel Richie is like singing about the NHS. There you go, Lionel. There's a good idea for you. Come out and fucking sing all night long for somebody sitting in A&E with a, you know, with their hand up in a sling because it's cut and they're losing blood, and they're sitting there all night long and can't get hold of a doctor because there's other emergencies and yours seem to be in the pecking order. So yeah, and this is under a government who's already in, who's now saying they're going to do this, that and the other. So, you know, you've got to use your head, vote where it matters, because it doesn't seem like fucking that's going to improve anytime soon under the current circumstances. An English woman has been convicted of racially abusing a police officer for calling him Scottish and ginger. She's called him a Scottish ginger prick. So another lady with a screw loose. You know, women, equal rights and everything, but women are just as mad as men. Women are balmy. Some are, not all. Some men aren't. I am. No, we all are a little bit. We're all a little bit. Not depends on the day, then it depends on the feng shui or the full moon or fucking, you know, whatever bill lands through the post on payday when you thought he was like quids in. How many times I'm like Del Boy, you know what I mean? Like, you're just like that, rubbing your hands because you just made a bit of a win. All of a sudden, parking fine, fucking gas bill. I'm still arguing with British Gas. British Gas are still chasing me for £800 that I'm not paying for them. I'm not paying them. Remember this, listen to this, British Gas. I'm not paying you £800. I do not owe it you. I don't owe it them. And my current provider are trying to sort it out for me, but they're hounding me with debt collector letters. So, you know, somebody else might, you know, I just don't give a shit about fucking, I'll just ignore them. But some people would end up paying that because of the amount that they're hassling. Anyhow, there you go. They'd be convicted of racially abusing him, calling him a Scottish ginger prick. It's not race, is it? That's not like racial abuse. It's abuse. I mean, he's calling him Scottish, but I don't know. It's kind of fucking national abuse, isn't it? It could be a prick, but maybe the Scottish and the ginger is called offensive. It's almost a little bit PC, I suppose, but she's being done for abuse at the very least. So yeah, I don't know. Where's she from? Oh, she's English. So where was she? Was she in Scotland, or was he down here? Because, you know, I think does it matter? I don't think it really matters. But if he's down here, then he's like, he's on his own over here, isn't he? But if she's up there, she's kind of like shouting it to everybody, really. Surprised she didn't get fucking head-butted by some fucking other woman walking past. This, you know, especially if she's in Glasgow or somewhere. I haven't got time to check now, but, you know. They don't muck around up there. They know how to fucking look after themselves, or at least, you know, look after you. If you start calling people ginger pricks, this is funny. Kings of Leon did a concert. They had to cancel a concert, or walked off stage actually during one of their concerts because they were getting shat on by a load of pigeons. So they literally had to. They actually said, "Look, I'm sorry, we're going to have to cancel the gig. We just can't handle being all these pigeons keep shitting on us, and we're going to have to walk off. Don't blame us, blame the organisers." You can't just do that in the middle of a gig. I mean, it ain't nice having pigeons. How much? I mean, surely, how much was they shitting? Was there like, you know, it's easy just go and shoo the pigeons away, or just fucking move away from the stage or something. Just go and like take your stuff off and say, we'll do it down here in the crowd or something. We'll jump off. Just get the long leads. There's got to be a way around it, innit? But apparently one of the pigeons shat in his mouth, so, you know, it can't have been too pleasant. But, you know, there's like some fucking freak weather, innit? All of a sudden there's a mass pigeon shit all in one fucking go kind of thing. Come on, I'm sure they were just being divas there. There's that one thing where it's shut in his mouth. He's going, right, I'm off. Everybody better follow me. So, yeah, some disgruntled fans there. That's not a reasonable excuse. They'll probably want their money back. It's probably good if they got half the concert and then get their money back, I suppose. You know, it's kind of like a bit of a freebie then, isn't it? And you've got a good story to tell the grandkids. The old pigeon shit story, the old rock and roll pigeon shit. Listening to instrumental, it's not hardly a Woodstock story, is it? Listening to instrumental music such as jazz while driving can reduce stress, as a study has found. It does. I listen to, if I get into traffic jam and shit like that, I'm saying that my stereo's busted in a minute, but it's, if you're in traffic and all that, and you have to just put something like, what's it called? What's that channel? The classical channel. Put that on because it just diffuses you. Otherwise, you feel like fucking doing that Michael Douglas one in Falling Down. You know, just walking out. If you've ever been sat 4 hours in traffic that you can see that he's not going to move, it's grim. It's really, really fucking tough. Especially when you're like, you're in a manual and you got to keep pressing the what's it called, the button, the pedal. Your one leg's knackered. You end up with one big massive leg. If you just like, lorry drivers probably got one big leg and one small leg because they have to do that all the time, don't they? So yeah, classical music, otherwise you're just going to get out and start fucking scrapping with each other. It's tense out there. It's just shit, man. Too many cars. And they just haven't got a control over the fucking traffic. Middle drivers, that's half the time, middle drivers. If you're a middle lane driver, you're a pain in the arse because you're causing fucking traffic behind you, because everybody asks to the law is you got to go round them, innit? And people are having to undercut, causing accidents and everything. Sort yourself out, sort your life out. Get in the fucking left-hand lane, for fuck's sake. Yeah, so there you go. Listening to jazz chills you out, and listening to rock with pigeon shit ruins your day as well. So, well, that chills you out. Pigeon shit, rock shit ruins your day. A man who repeatedly dialed 999 and belched down the phone line at police call handlers to alleviate his boredom has been jailed for 24 weeks. So that's a fucking, that's one to tell the grandkids as well, isn't it? I remember talked about him the other week, but he's had his comeuppance now. He used to ring up 999 all the time and burp down the phone. I mean, it's stupid, isn't it? 24 weeks in the nick. It would have been funny, actually, when he was being given his sentence, whether when he was being led away, whether he let out a belt, did a big burp as he was walking down the stairs. That would have been funny. I doubt if he did, though, because I bet he was like, jaw was dropped when she told him, or the judge told him, you got 24 weeks. I bet his jaw was on the fucking floor, because you'd think, oh, I ain't going to get sent down for it, you know. So, yeah. Yeah, falling his fucking. I was going to say falling his money. Then he's not he's ringing up 999. I think I had my head Babe Station then for some reason. He was burping down the phone at Babe Station. You could do that all day long on there. You're paying £2 a minute. Ring them up and burp down there. The girls are just taking your money. Yeah, burp us again. Burp again. Do us another one. Do us a 5-minute one, because that's about a tenner in my back pocket. Thanks. Unfortunately, you're doing it to 999 calls, and they ain't taking that shit. They've got better things to deal with than some fucking burping idiots. Anyway, they should have gave him, what's he called? Community service, anyway. Pissed him off. We was talking about that yesterday, and they give you all the shitty jobs. And he'd be like, oh, fucking, that's the last time I ever burp. Ever. I'm going to grow up from this moment forward. A champion chomper, Kate Ovens, apt name, has eaten Britain's biggest hot dog, 5,000 calorie. She don't look nothing anyway. I'll tell you what, she looks like a good looking girl. She's quite thin. She just ate like a 5,000 calorie meal, and I guess she wants to be that kind of like one of those meat eater, food eaters on the internet, you know, like mukbang, whatever they call it. Sounds sexual, that does, doesn't it? Anyway, it's massive, these hot dogs, about that long. So you're going to be fat before you know it, and you're going to be regretting that fucking hot dog, because that's going to be the starter for 10. It looks grim. It looks just fucking horrible as well. You know what I mean? That's just like there's not a bit of goodness in that meal. Oh, look at me getting all oh shit! Actually, just reminded me I got something in the oven. Right, let's get this fucking thing going. Let's get this thing finished. Barry from EastEnders is being haunted by a ghost called Rosemary, and he's called in Barry. Remember Barry? Did he get chucked off a bridge? Did he get chucked off a cliff, or did somebody chuck him off a cliff? No. Did he get chucked off a cliff, or did he chuck someone off a cliff? I don't know. I don't watch EastEnders. I just remember him a long time ago. But he's calling in Derek Acora. You know, the bullshit, what's he called? Clairvoyant or whatever, who talks to, not clairvoyant, he talks to the ghosts and everything, doesn't he? Psychic, is he? What's he call himself? Psychic. And he talks to ghosts. So he's called him up and he's asked him to talk to him. So Derek Acora, who said Mary loves Dick. Remember, he went into a house and the woman asked him to contact her husband called Richard, and he was walking around the house going, Mary loves Dick. He's talking to us. He's saying Mary loves Dick, and he's been found out to be bullshitting plenty of times. I think his crew set him up, and he was talking to ghosts and everything, and they put him in the wrong room. They switched it on him to catch out whether he actually did have powers, and he proved that he didn't. So, you know, there you go, fooling his money. I wonder how much he charges because he's a TV personality. I bet he ain't cheap. A collector. This guy collects vacuum cleaners. He spent more than 20 years collecting over 100 vacuums. There's a picture of him here, cramped in his fucking room with all the vacuums around him. That's a real shit collector bug, that, isn't it? That's one of the worst. He probably doesn't even know, why the hell am I desperate to buy that vacuum when I've already got 99 at home? That's probably what he asks himself. Anyway, and he says he hates even hoovering. He hates hoovering, but he loves buying vacuum cleaners. So, to be honest, in 20 years, he's only got 100. Vacuums are 10 a penny. You could fucking buy one of them every week. So he should have thousands by now. But at least he's got a kind of a, you know, he's refraining himself a little bit. But there you go. He's not going to be much fun to be around, isn't he? When you go around his house, imagine like when he goes home with his new date or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, don't go in that room, whatever you do." Or if you do, you're going to see that there's like, you know, I know the carpets are dusty, but if you look in that room, you're going to see that they shouldn't be, and that's because I need somebody to do the hoovering for me. So she's going to be out of there as quick as fucking you can click your fingers, because women don't do that shit. Do your own cleaning. Women don't do that shit anymore. It's fucking 50-50 on the old chores. Some blokes, it's all that, ain't it? The old blokes don't do for. Well, is it? Do you sit at home doing nothing? While your missus does all the vacuuming, banging it around your feet, or you got your dinner on your lap, or you lift your feet up like that? No, come on, share the chores, share the burden. What is it? A happy wife is a happy life, as they say. A Christmas search is on for British Bing Crosby. A British Bing Crosby. I didn't understand this at first. There's Decca Records are trying to find British people called Bing Crosby. Who's named their bloody kids Bing Crosby? I guess your name was Crosby to start with, but to call him Bing is obviously naming him after the singer. That was just, surely they're just like getting bullied or took the piss out of most of the time. Or they've got to be quite old now. Nobody would call him it now, but apparently there's 3 anyway. So if you're out there, if you're watching my podcast or my videos, Bing, then we need you to get in touch with Decca Records, because they're planning a festive lunch to mark the new album of the Crooners' hits. Maybe a load more will turn up. Remember somebody did it the other week for Nigels, and he had a pub full of Nigels all turned up. And there was a joke about, you know, whose round it is. So, yeah, there you go. Bing Crosby. There can't be too many of them about. Or Bing. Hello, Bing. Wonder if surely one of them must be a singer at the very least. With that name, you might as well become you know, like a, what's it called? Like when is it when the band you copying the band? You know what I mean? Tribute band. Fuck you now. Come on, Wayne. Let's get this one. He's a guy who needs to hide himself. Actually, Paul McCartney. No link really, but Paul McCartney went to the cinema. It's got in the paper that Paul McCartney went to the cinema with his girlfriend. They had to sneak in. He hid at the back, and so a couple of people recognised him, but most people were just watching the film. It must be shit in it to go around having to hide or not be able to do normal things like that. Or saying that, I'm not too good in the cinema, as I've said before, but not because of people recognising me, because of me can't handle the noise of them fucking eating, munching on crap while I'm trying to watch the film. But he can't literally go anywhere without people recognising him, so it just must be tiring as fuck. So you must have to just go in just wear a disguise or something. But again, you wouldn't want a fake moustache, like a Karl Marx nose and glasses or something, and a bloody fez hat or something or other. Draw attention to yourself anyway, doesn't it? They'll be like, hang on, why is that guy wearing a disguise? He must be somebody famous. Who is he? What's this? I'm a Celebrity, Miles Stevenson. Who's he? Miles Stevenson, who are you? Says that he will ask campmate Caitlyn Jenner if the family friend O.J. Simpson really is a killer. Well, I mean, yeah, good, because she's either going to say, oh yeah, you know what, between me and you and the rest of Britain, and well, not the rest of Britain at all, whoever can be bothered to watch this shit programme, between you, me and them, yeah, well, he is a killer, yeah, that's right, he told me. It's a stupid thing to say, because he's not going to fucking own up to it anyway, is he? He's not going to, he's not going to tell them, and they're not going to tell you. So you know, I think he's going to take that one to the fucking to the grave. And you know, I think we've all got our opinions about that. Remember the little gloves, tiny little magic gloves, the magic gloves you get for Christmas, and you put them on and they become a full size glove, and then they go back and they're like a little kid's one. Well, we got a van from the kids show Sooty. The Sooty show has emerged. A van that was used in this show has emerged for sale after rusting in a garage for 20 years. It was in episodes in the late 70s to the 90s, and now it's going to go on sale. It's going on to an auction, and now its auction value is £400 to £600. That ain't a lot. The old Sooty van. So hopefully a TV company comes in for that and reuses it again, or fucking bumps up the price. That don't seem a lot for something from Sooty. I wonder how much the Sooty puppets would go for. They've got to go for a bit. Sooty, Sweep, and who's the other one? Sue. Sooty, Sweep, and Sue. Fucking loved that programme when I was growing up. Still love it now. I don't watch it now, but it's made me think I'd like to watch one of them and just see, go down memory lane. I'll probably think it was a load of shit now, but anyway, wouldn't I? See how childish I still am, whether I'm still into that kind of thing. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho was the first US film to show a toilet flushing, but it became far more famous for its shower scene. Obviously, because the shower scene has got some relevance to the film, but a toilet flushing, why would anybody remember that unless the toilet flushing was somebody getting killed on the toilet and the noise of the flush was part of the thing? Doesn't make sense, does it, that statement? So there you go, people, random fact. Somebody's job it is to find these things out, you know, just to make that little bit of statement in the paper. You know, if you think you fucking got a classy job working at the newspaper, no, your job is to find out which film the first toilet flush was in. What about that one where, what's it called, in Dumb and Dumber, where he's on the toilet making when he has the laxatives? What's the first film that ever happened in? Was it Dumb and Dumber, or has it happened before? Get back to me. Write a name write in the comments. No, don't. I don't want to know. It was a stupid question. Where are we going now? I've done that one. Right, I think we're going to wrap this up. I said it was going to be short, didn't I? My food is 100% burnt. Wild boar dug up and destroyed £20,000 stash of cocaine that was hidden in the woodlands by drug dealers, and the gang were moaning about the sealed container being torn open and scattered when police started tapping their phones. So I think the wild boar have done you a favour there, because if there's no fucking coke, well, the boars are probably up having a party, running around the field thinking, what the fuck? You know, running 100 miles an hour. I didn't know I could run as fast as a horse, jumping over the fences and everything like that. You know, fucking just hoovered it up like truffles or whatever it was, or probably keep going back to the same spots, running around on a big marathon and then come back, having going like, I like that bit of grass where we was earlier on this morning. Anyway, what was I saying? They've done you a favour, because the police just tuned in, but there's no cocaine to arrest you for. So there you go. You've had a lucky escape, because had they found you picking up the coke, you'd be fucking banged up by now. So there you go. Thank your lucky boars. One more, last one, and then we're going to call it Spy Hard. MI6 operatives who want to let off steam after a long day of espionage That's not an easy word for me to say, is it? Have their own secret bar in which they can discuss their work without the risk of being overheard. The exclusive venue is located in Vauxhall. Is this fucking Inspector Clouseau giving this information out, or what? There's an exclusive venue, bar, what the MI6 use. It's in Vauxhall in South London, where the UK's foreign intelligence has its headquarters, and it is accessible only to people who work for MI6, according to Sir Alex Younger, the head of Secret Intelligence Service. So Alex Younger, that's like a fucking intelligence faux pas, isn't it? Surely that's like egg on the face. You just told everybody that there's a secret bar, and anybody that wants to find a secret bar, I'm sure it's not going to be hard to find. You've just told us there is one, for fuck's sake. You know, you don't take people who you think you're clever, but there's clever people who are tuning in, and they actually just going to follow one of you, aren't they? Just follow you. Hang on, when he goes into a bar, that's the bar probably. So hopefully there's not some baddies watching this podcast video, and they're going to use my words or my you know, calling you out as being bloody stupid, or putting the fucking the bar on the map. I don't want to be involved in anything, nothing to do with me, governor. I'm going to call it a day there. Oh, actually, one more thing: the iconic guitar in the Clash album, the iconic album cover. What was the London's Calling? That was smashed by Paul Cinnamon, the bassist. It's on show at an exhibition called the Clash London Calling exhibition at the Museum of London. So go along to that. Hopefully, I'd like to go along to that myself. So I don't know how long it's running for. If I get a chance, I might well do that. Here's a bit of news for you. Paul Cinnamon is in a new band with Damon Albarn called The Good, The Bad and The Queen. So they've nicked my name there, haven't they? They're kind of a little bit similar. I forgot about them when I gave the name of this podcast. We're the good, the bad and the stupid anyway. And some other people are the good, the bad and the ugly. So we're going to leave it there. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you again next week. See you later. Bye-bye.